Oh my God, these cravings, the food noise, it's driving me crazy. My demon addict is testing my resolve and trying to bring me to my knees to make me give up. But I'm not going to quit. I'm going to succeed. It's too important. And it really chaps my ass that the gurus in their 40s and even early 50s tell us that keto kills the cravings, cut carbs, they say, get in ketosis, the food noise will disappear in just a few weeks. But for me, at 65, and maybe for you, it is not working. 2 months of 20 total carbs or less keto, and the food noise will not quit. I am drowning in relentless cravings and food fantasies, like the one on the AI thumbnail for this video. But I've been thinking, what if the problem isn't us? What if it's keto itself, ignoring the biological reality for millions of us over 60? In this video, I'm going to reveal 4 reasons why, if you're older like me, keto can backfire, including why artificial sweeteners trigger stronger cravings in older brains. And I'm going to share the shift I'm finally testing, something I vowed I would never do. But it would be a game changer if it works. And if it works for me, maybe it can work for you. Hi, I'm Sharrell. I'm 65, living in the mountains of central Mexico with my husband Andy and my service dog Sebastian. I'm not a doctor. I'm not an Instagram success story. I'm just a retiree who has spent 45 years on the 100-pound weight loss roller coaster. Last year, Women's World magazine featured me 3 times for losing 100 pounds, and then I gained back 50. That's when I realized something bigger was happening. I had developed non-stop food noise, cravings, and food fantasies, and I couldn't get rid of them, even on Carnivore. So I started this channel to find answers, stay accountable, and build a community of people like me, people who refuse to let food quietly steal their retirement dreams. If you can have a slice of cake without triggering days of cravings, this video isn't for you. But if you can win at everything else in life and still fail repeatedly with food, welcome. You are in the right place. Here's what the keto gurus won't tell you about your aging brain. Keto promises something very simple. Cut carbs, reset your brain, and cravings will vanish. And for most people, that is true. But that's not us, or we would have already succeeded. When food has been your drug for decades, and when you carry survival genes, thrifty genes, which I'll touch on in a minute, that turn abundance into addiction, ketosis alone can't rewire what took years to break. And that's backed by research from Johns Hopkins that shows our brain's reward pathways are far less flexible after 45. Decades of processed foods create entrenched neural patterns that resist change. A 30-year-old removes carbs and their brain rewires quickly. A 60-year-old removes carbs and the brain protests. Food noise gets louder before it quiets down. This isn't a willpower problem. It's wiring built over decades. And that's why the first time I did keto at 40, it worked. But at 60, the cravings went into overdrive, leading to binge eating for the first time in my life. But brain wiring, that's just the beginning. Wait until you hear what keto's favorite solution is actually doing to those of us who are older. Here's something that's not talked about enough, and you're probably not going to want to face it. But I don't want you to click off and run from the word. Not if you want to succeed. If you've spent decades failing on every diet like I have, we have to face that we're failing because we're addicts. And our addiction is as hard to kick as heroin. And even worse, we are surrounded by our drug of choice, the mental obsession, the food noise that runs in the background of every conversation, every meeting, every moment of your day. Cravings that wake you up at night. Food fantasies triggered by every other commercial you see. And here's the kicker. Keto's biggest selling point actually feeds our addiction. Sugar-free desserts, fat bombs, guilt-free treats, pre-packaged bars and shakes. And it even gets worse as we age. A 2019 Yale study found that people over 45 have stronger brain responses to artificial sweeteners. Our brains don't just taste sweetness. They remember 40 years of what sweetness means. So every harmless keto cookie sends mixed signals. Your brain expects sugar, doesn't get it, and the cravings scream louder. Instead of silencing food noise, sweeteners not only keep it alive, they amp it up. And for people like me, any sweetness, even stevia, monk fruit, you name it, it's going to feed the addiction. And if you're thinking, this explains so much about my keto struggles, I want you to share this with somebody who needs to hear it. Because what I'm about to reveal about our genetics, I think it will blow your mind. Keto communities say, just give it time and you'll adapt. And again, that's true for younger bodies, non-addicts, and those who don't have thrifty genes. I discussed what emerging research around the carnivore connection reveals in this video, if you want to take a deeper dive. But in a nutshell, thrifty genes are survival wiring that were forged during ice ages when our ancestors survived on meat and fat for nearly 2 million years. Some populations adapted when agriculture arrived 10,000 years ago, and they can handle carbs. Others didn't. This created a metabolic spectrum. Those of us who have ancestors who didn't adapt are at the sensitive end, still carrying that ancient programming that can't process carbs efficiently. Instead, we thrive on mostly fat and meat. And those of us who are over 50 aren't just dealing with thrifty genes. For us, insulin sensitivity drops, growth hormones slow, cortisol patterns shift, and both healing and recovery take a lot longer. Dr. Peter Attica warns full keto adaptation may take 6 to 12 weeks for older adults, double or triple what younger people need. So if you're 8 weeks in, still craving, wondering if you're broken, you're not. You're just living in an older body with ancient survival genes that need an entirely different approach. And if genetics and aging weren't enough obstacles, here's the final piece that might even make you angry. The billion-dollar keto industry isn't built on your permanent success. It's built on your repeated failures. If you lose weight once and keep it off with simple foods, you don't need ketone test strips, $40 tubs of protein or collagen powder, or keto-approved cookies. And that is bad for business. But if you lose 20, gain it back, and blame yourself, you'll buy again, and again, and again. And that's where the profits are. Failure sells. Look at the ecosystem. Supplement stacks, keto snacks, macro trackers, endless new cookbooks, monthly subscription boxes. They aren't in the beef and egg business. They are in the novelty business, selling you complexity dressed up as science. And the complexity, it's not an accident. Track your macros, test your ketones, cycle your carbs, add this supplement, try this new dessert recipe. It keeps you busy, keeps you confused, and keeps you spending. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. And it distracts you from the obvious question. If this stuff really worked, why do I need so much of it? Meanwhile, the simplest approach is to just eat whole food, meat, eggs, fish. No gadgets, no powders, no bars. And for those of us over 50 who have already spent decades funding every new diet trend, The answer isn't more products, it's less. It's subtraction, not addition. And that's why it works. It's simpler than you think. The solution isn't better keto. It's not doing keto harder or more perfectly. If that works, I would have succeeded 5 years ago. For those of us who are over 50, with the addicted brains and the thrifty genes, the solution is simpler eating. And in my experience, that means going carnivore, at least until our brains heal from decades of food chaos. And if you have spent 30 years binging and restricting, moderation is a battle you cannot win. The only way to quiet food noise is to stop giving it something to argue about. We aren't just fighting biology, we're fighting a food system designed to keep us addicted. This isn't about willpower, it is a war against a broken system. And to help you decode what your body is telling you, I created something I wish I had had 30 years ago. It's a free 18-page guide called The Body Warning System Your Doctor Never Taught You. It will help you spot inflammation, sugar addiction, and hidden conditions like lymphedema that most doctors don't even know to check for. Drop checklists in the comments below and I will send you the link. For people like me, Carnivore provides exactly what our ancient wiring expects: nutrient-dense animal foods without triggers. I have never heard of a ribeye addict. Have you? That means no sugar, no grain, no substitutes, no variety. Nothing that will mimic what our brains crave. Just meat, fish, eggs, animal fat. The same meals on repeat. And here's the key. That repetition, it's not boring, it's strategic. When you eat the same nourishing foods every day, your brain will stop anticipating variety and novelty. The food noise will quiet over time. For some, it'll go away entirely. This is a video I did about repetitive meals and why they are the secret weapon against food addiction. Is it socially hard? Yeah. But spending decades obsessing over food, that is harder. 6 years ago, when I climbed out of what I call the carb ditch, I thought keto would save me. Instead, it led to binge eating for the first time in my life, and like I said, I haven't conquered it yet 6 years later. Every attempt to restart and get clean is exponentially harder. 2 years ago, before we fell into the carb ditch yet again, we powered through carnivore for 7 months. Andy and I both lost 70 pounds, and I was still drinking Diet Coke and no-calorie flavored water. But this time, the nonstop food noise, the cravings, and the food fantasies, I cannot take it anymore. I am 12 weeks in to the most recent journey out of the ditch, the last 4 on carnivore, and I have to confess I'm teetering on giving up. The excitement of losing the first 30 is gone, and I have 27 to go, and for 3 weeks I've been in a stall. I am in what I call the halfway valley of quit, which I'm going to make a video about next week. Those studies on how artificial sweetener hijack older brains, I'm realizing mine has been fully hijacked. I have to try something drastic, something I swore I would never do. I'm going to have to see if I can eliminate sweet taste and see if it quiets the food noise. I don't want to do it. I told myself my Diet Coke in the morning and the no-calorie drinks in the rest of the day that were fruit-flavored were the only thing keeping me on track, and I honestly believe that. But I don't know what else to do. So I've got a 30-day plan. I had already been diluting my flavored drinks with 1/3 sparkling water. So this past week I increased that to half and half. But I diluted my Diet Coke by 1/4 this week with sparkling water. And I'm going to see if I can start ratcheting up those ratios every week. I don't know. I tried a little more once or twice and I can't stand it, but I'm just going to hold till I can ratchet up. And as soon as I can ratchet up, I'm going to keep going. And I'm vowing right here, I am going to reach the point where I'm taking a break from those drinks. But you know what? It may take me months. But I have to tell you, I know right now I will not succeed if I don't do it. Science says retraining your taste buds will take 2 to 4 weeks. Well, I don't believe any of that anymore because older brains, evidently, we aren't the norm. And with how bad my cravings are, I think, like I said, if it ever happens, it'll probably take months. I'm not at all confident it'll go away, but I got to try, like I said. So subscribe for updates on this detox because I'm going to be truthful. I'm going to share my results and my failures, and I am terrified. I'm absolutely terrified to do it because I can't stand diluted Diet Coke. And you know what? Maybe I'll get used to it. Maybe giving it a try will also inspire you to join me because if you're over 50 and still battling keto cravings, I really want you to be here because you're not broken and you're not alone. So tell me in the comments, what is your food noise kryptonite? Because we can help each other. And finally, get off this weight loss roller coaster. One day at a time, one meal at a time. And don't forget to request my free guide. Drop checklists in the comments. And if you're still stuck in the carb ditch, check out the playlist that we have tracking our journey week by week, getting out of it, falling back down, coming back up. We struggled week by week, but maybe our wins and our struggles can help you. Give it a watch. What do you have to lose?